Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you guys have been scared from the recent volatility in the markets, you're probably not alone. What everyone thought was left is now right, up is now down, and no matter what you have been investing into, it has been an absolute roller coaster of a ride to say the least. But at least your pensions are safe, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to all of you guys today about, and how your pensions and really 401k retirement plans aren't quite as reliable and safe as you might think. A lot of them can even be scam-esque. Now, to explain this, I want to go straight to the PBGC website, which stands for the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation. How this is going to tie into the real estate market and how this is going to specifically affect baby boomers and people that are, in ties with baby boomers, which is just about all of us at this point. Now, specifically, we are talking about a U.S. government agency, but it has a lot bigger of an impact than that, which I will explain as the video goes on. But to sum this up, guys, again, this is a government agency. This is coming straight from their website, and they talk about how the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation is going to most likely go bankrupt by 2025. Certainly, they have a 99% chance of going bankrupt by 2026, and they could very well be going bankrupt before that, in 2024. So to read this over, just so everyone kind of gets a grasp of how dire this situation is and how bad this is getting, they had to publish this to the government agency website. Now it says the new projections show a narrower range of years for the likely date of insolvency of the multi-employer program. The likelihood that the multi-employer program will run out of money before the end of 2025 has grown to over 90%. There remains a significant chance that the program will run out of money during 2024. The likelihood that the program will remain solvent after 2026 is now less than 1%. A narrower range in the new projections is based on the most recent available data on the troubled pension plans. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is for over 28 million Americans as of 2018. As of, I believe, today, the PBGC insures, and I actually have this pulled up, they currently insure, almost 35 million or over 35 million Americans in the single and multi-employer pension plans. So what happens to the very government agency, what happens to us when the very government agency that guarantees our pension plans no longer has the money to guarantee it? What happens when people's pensions and retirement funds are no longer guaranteed and they're not getting them? Now, keep in mind, almost only nearly half of Americans actually have a viable pension plan in this. So a lot of Americans aren't even prepared for retirement. Now, this is significant because, and again, I have this pulled up over here and I'll talk about this in just a second, but a lot of Americans aren't even, ready for retirement. Almost half of them have an actual retirement plan, and of the 50% that have a retirement plan, it's only, I believe the number was around $2,000 a year to live off of, which obviously isn't livable. Now, this is significant because almost 20% of our population is baby boomers in the United States. I believe right now it's at 19.8%, so nearly 20%. That's huge because over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to have these very same baby boomers begin to retire, move out of their houses, or begin to start dying off. And I don't mean to make that sound grim in any way, but it's just, it's the way that life is. They're starting to get older, and they are going to begin these stages of retirement and moving out of houses, probably in the nursing homes or assisted living of some sort, or they're going to begin to die off. And this is a problem because this is the largest generation in the world right now. And while, again, they are projected to be overcome by millennials, as of the data that I have right in front of me, they are not bigger yet. So we have the biggest generation that we've really ever seen in the history of the earth that is all going to go into retirement. Their retirement funds are not going to be guaranteed, and that's going to leave a huge hole in the real estate market. Because what happens when 20% of the population starts selling off and starts moving out over a 5 to 10 year period? Now, that's where this starts to become a very sticky situation, because everyone always talks about how the retirement and the, specifically how the real estate market is always going to recover. It has always recovered before, and it'll always continue to recover. And that's just simply not the case. If you look at the demographics, and we're right now currently behind Germany, and Germany being behind Japan, Japan's real estate market hasn't recovered, and it's been over 30 years. I mean, it's a disaster. I mean, Germany's head over their heels right now. I mean, they're in a sticky, very, very sticky financial situation, but we're just a little bit behind Germany, in my opinion. Now, I don't say this to make people, scared or anything like that, but I want to say this so people actually know what to expect coming up, because this could very easily be a worse real estate condition, and maybe even more of a financial crisis in the coming years than what we have currently with the entire COVID situation. Now, time will tell, and we'll have to see how this plays out. But if something isn't done, you're going to have a very large portion of Americans not getting their pension plans. And maybe that even affects you as someone who's younger and investing in this. You're investing into something that will no longer even be guaranteed by the government. Now, if that doesn't scare you, I really don't know what will. But I wanted to go ahead and leave this up so you guys can read some of the numbers and how this is affecting while I'm actually talking about this and explaining why I think this will be a global impact phenomena. So with all these people moving out of their homes, that obviously leaves a big hole in the real estate market. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I can't speak for other countries, but I know that the United States is very, very rapidly increasing and building and growing and expanding in the field of real estate. It's kind of like the hot topic right now. Back 10, 20 years, 30 years ago, it was investing in the stocks. Now it's become an e-commerce seller or get into real estate, rent out places. But we're continuing to expand this market, and what happens when 20% of that market goes over sale or really on sale, and we continue to build and create that number and expand it to anything from 20 to 25 or maybe even 30%. I mean, it could easily get that bad, and then you have a dire situation. Now, this isn't all doom and gloom. Obviously, this presents itself with a very, very beautiful series of opportunities. Now, one, you could be looking at this as you could very well easily buy real estate at a very cheap price. But two, this could have a larger impact and effect, and you might just need to prepare a little bit. Again, nothing I'm saying is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way, but just be prepared. You might have to have your baby boomer parents, grandparents, something like that, move in with you over the next 5 to 10 years. Why? Because they very well could not, as we talked about over in here, they could very well not be getting their pension plans. And of the ones that have it, that could be chopped up and cut, because that very same thing has happened in, I believe it was the 70s or the 80s. So be aware, if you guys are a part of this and have pensions, please do your own due diligence. Look into this. It's something that's significant, and I think it's something that's going to play a very, very significant impact on the future. You're going to have the global real estate market just tossed up. You're going to have the United States pension market, an older market, absolutely in a panic and in a, I don't want to say the word fire sale, but it's going to be quite the phenomena that we're going to have to deal with here in the next 5 to 10 years. So to kind of recap this and explain why I think that this is going to be so crucial for people to understand is, one, if you have a pension, you need to understand where your money is and if you can actually get it. You need to understand what it means to not have it guaranteed by the U.S. government anymore. And three, you need to understand how this is going to impact the real estate market. If you're buying real estate right now, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to give any kind of advice, but you are buying things at the absolute pinnacle. And I'm not talking about stocks again, I'm specifically talking about real estate. People get the idea that there are zero interest rate loans right now. I mean, that's great. People like the idea of zero interest rate loans because you're not paying interest rate pretty much, for the most part. The problem becomes when you have something that could be so catastrophic to a real estate industry as this, and it's not even catastrophic, it's natural, it happens. It's just a generational move from one generation to the other. We've seen this before, not to this scale, not like to a problem like this, because right now we have compounding problems. We have the economic situation that we currently have, then we have the entire pension situation, and now we have the transitional natural phenomena moving from the largest generation moving out, all within a very select time period. One thing on top of another, it does begin to add up, and it's something to at least look into. So I challenge you guys, don't listen to me just because I'm some random guy on the internet. Do your own due diligence, look into this, look at the data and the facts, and if I have, missaid anything, by all means, please correct me in the comment section down below, and I'd be more than happy to fix that in the video. So I just want to make sure that this was out there for everyone. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you guys do drop a like. I'll have a lot more stuff coming out on this and really how to take advantage of the current market situation and the ones that are to come. I think that this is probably one of the most or more important videos that I have to make, because this is going to affect a lot of people. So I'm putting this one out first, but I have a lot of good stuff coming about how to take advantage of this and where the opportunities, I believe, will lie coming ahead. Now, whether that's cryptocurrency, stocks, indexes, and I need to talk about the bond markets as well. There are just opportunities all over the place. So thank you guys for watching. If this was insightful, send this to someone that maybe needs it. Send this to someone that doesn't know. If you know, if you didn't know, now you know, and maybe send this to someone that needs to hear this as well, and that would be much appreciated. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brendan, and I will see you guys in the next video.